Well, it's good to see those pictures down from the Bombo Military Stadium. I don't prefer to call it that. I rather call it a Bombo Military Grounds because it's not any close to a stadium in Uganda. But anyways, good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of Football on Uganda Broadcasting Corporation TV. It's the Stanbic Uganda Cup. It's the 48th edition, proudly powered by Stanbic and Plascon. But we are enabled this by Federation of Uganda Football Associations and, of course, management at Uganda Broadcasting Corporation TV that really decides that you guys out there in the comfort of your living rooms have got to watch this in clear picture. We go to Bombo in a few minutes from now. It's UPDF against Impala Hill. Impala Hill is a Kampala regional side and UPDF is a Uganda Premier League side. It's the round of 32. That's why it is safe for 4 teams. Sports Club Villa, whose game against a Super Eagles was postponed because of an accident that the Jogos were involved in at Mijera on their way for a game meant to be played yesterday. Then, of course, as I speak, Vipers must be playing against the Homeboys down in Kabale. Those are pending games from the round of 64. I'm joined by Fifi, Fiona, Pinky, Namiro, Mama Sky. Without that, it's no signature entry. Yeah. Welcome. You're smiling because of Mama. Because of Mama Sky.
When you say that, it means, yeah, you're really acknowledging that I'm a mother and a responsible one. Buns, I'm proud to be a mother and of Sky. Yes, I'm here. I'm happy to be back after AFCON, that we have the Uganda Cup. We promised and now delivering.
Yeah, it's the Stanbic Uganda Cup. I've told you it's a UPDF against Impala Hill. Impala Hill, that is the warm-up from the Bombo Military Stadium. I'll maintain that as that because it's what they communicate with us and I don't want to be divergent from anyone. That is a game, it's a knockout game, it's a one-off. A winner must be determined today. Yeah. And it's going to be either UPDF or Impala Hill. Fifi, yeah. Talk Ugandans through the 2 teams. Who are they?
Who are they? I think it's a reason as to why we have matches starting at 3 p.m. because when you have them start at 3, even if you went to penalties, you could use up to 6 p.m. Because the viewers may ask, why not 4 p.m.? Because that's when most of the workers leave offices, but it's 3 because we have the knockout phase coming in case it goes to penalties. When we are talking about both teams, UPDF managed to beat Soroti 3-0. I remember Sabil being one of the scorers in that game, and UPDF also played their last game against the Venoms. They put up a spirited fight and had a very good game. I think it was only Pomo Chorezi's free kick that broke them down. That means that Senyondo Brian, the former Ambarara and Sinaje coach, is getting a grip of his team. Musa Mude is now being deployed where he wants the most because we know he's edging a bit, so you don't need him to chase the opponents up and down. So these days they play him as a 10, though we know him initially as an anchorman playing at the 6th position, like people have to call it. Then for the Kampala best side, have a coach who has taken Buwe Kula to the finals of the Masaza Cup come 5th March. That is against Budu, yes, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a coach that normally lines up a squad out of unity. They operate as a unit. They also beat Proline, by the way. It was penalties, if I'm to recall. So it is a team, yeah, that will give UPDF a run for their money. Though, by experience, you would think UPDF being a Premier League side and being an experienced side, Brian will have a lot of players at his disposal, like Taban. They have Taban. He's very tall. He has tall legs. He's tall. He's the tallest on the pitch, and could have scored against Soroti in that game. Then at the backside, they have, the Mamba goalkeeper. Again, Soroti, they play as a forward. By this time, they will play, I think, Yusuf Waswa and the rest to try win this game. They normally go for a 4-3-3 system. Mude making that arc, feeding, of course, they've resigned Katende Ezekiel, but then they have Taban on the right. They have Roger Zadrico in the midfield, who also moves freely. Then they have a Sunday at left back, and they have former Proline footballer James Begisa at right back. So those are players that Brian Senyondo has at his disposal, and I believe he could go in for this one because he said, and I would love to quote his words, he said that they cannot chase the league, but they can go for the monies because at round of 16, your money increases. You go to 3 million, I guess.
16, you go to 6 million. Where they are at now is at 3 million.
3 million.
Yeah, 3 million here is where they're at now. With the progress to the next one, they'll get to that 6 million bracket. Then the further you go, the more the money is become.
You're up to 50 million.
But it's not cumulative, it's per stage. Yeah. So if one of these teams is going to be ejected at this stage, by 5 p.m., 6 p.m. today, one of these 2 teams will be out of this. Then they will get the 3 million Uganda shillings. Whoever progresses will only get the 6 million shillings if they lose the round of 16. If they progress further, the monies keep increasing. But not cumulative. Anyways, Impala Hill is a club that was formed on the basis of trying to address the issue of slums, Fifi.
Yeah.
It's located somewhere in Mulago. Most of these players were recruited by Alan Kabonge,
yes.
a man who is also a rasta of sorts, and it's the reason
cut off his hair.
Recently, but in the past he's a rasta,
right.
a rasta man. That is I think such a teams is exampled by another that we commentated here. I think one from Zambia, a team from Zambia. Name skips.
Oh,
I think it's good for football to have such a teams that bring together the youth that were in the past disturbed by many other things than football, and now here they are on the verge of having a game on TV. Many Ugandans have never had their teams play on TV. Now here is Impala Hill because of football. But Frank Mulindwa,
Frank,
he's a talkative lad.
Yeah, talkative lad, and is always, sometimes you're talkative with nothing, but he talks sense. That's what I can say. So I commend him for that.
But the issue is not talking sense now. Can he walk the talk?
He can try. Like we said,
he'll just talk the talk.
Because there's a difference between the two. Region, there is a big league in between, but they're knockout games. When you do something right, probably better than your opponent. But like we've seen, because our sitting Proline, it was a big league team, and they were still in the region team, meaning they managed to outsit someone who plays in a better division than them. Like you said, he's talkative, but I love the way he unites his players. He is one person who can go to a bar. I'm sorry to mention.
It's okay.
A bar with his players.
Same as Mbabazi, the guy at Arua.
So when you have such a coach who drinks, I'm not.
It's okay, but
I'm talking about drinking.
Fifi, let me tell you something. I've managed a couple of lads as a coach.
Okay.
I wasn't certified because I don't have the paper. Yes, I have.
Bands.
I have.
Okay.
I'm on national TV. I cannot start blowing my own trumpet.
Did you win games as a coach?
Many. Numero. You go to Mpiji, you go to Nkumba, Baitabedi and ask as a coach and as a player. But it's very okay for you to gel with these youngsters. I was much older than them and much more mature than them. But what I did, these are lads that went out to the bar at night. Okay. And you know what? I joined them because we had to gel. I had to understand them.
But you don't drink.
Yes, but because of team ethos. To gel with the players. You know, you've got, when someone is your friend and you're playing on the same field, you'll understand each other better. I'll tell you, I had a colleague of mine who was much different from me called Madika Kidi. We played as strikers. But because I adapted into Maddy's lifestyle of going out in the night, Maddy knew that I was running here and passed the ball where I expected it.
So there was cohesion.
There was cohesion, and that gelling was very important. So there's no fault with Frank going out with his players on a drinking spree, as long as they play good football. And did they? Indeed, they are playing good football.
I feared them suing UBC.
No, they can't.
Some of them
they can't. They're playing good football. They are in the Scorpion group of the Kampala Regional League. They're only behind NEC. NEC is National Enterprises Corporation. They lost their previous game 2-1, and they're playing good football. They're much talked about. I've talked about the plaudits.
They are very aggressive, actually, attacking numbers and defending numbers. That's why I said the team depends entirely on unity. He has a few players like in Subuga.
Solomon Wafula,
actually, very exceptional player. Runs in a lot, creates a lot better.
The teams are still warming up.
Yeah, like you said, and those are the kids. I love the pink. I'm a fan of color pink. I love it. Thank you, Stanbic and Sadolin, for choosing, and UBC.
And
because oh Jesus. Okay,
Plascon.
Thank you, Plascon, and thank you, UBC TV and Stanbic for putting that up. That means that the players have something to play for. Bands 50 million is a lot of money to play for, but then also progressing to the next stage. For you, PDF, Sanyondo is a tactical guy, and he normally loves challenges. This is a challenge ahead of him, and I believe he can go into the round of 16. Yeah,
by the way, tell you Ugandans, we've got 5 games coming up for you between now. No, I think they're 4 now, because Express against either the win of Super Eagles and Sports Club Villa is tentatively off, because Sports Club Villa were involved in an accident that caused for their game being called off till they heal and get that game underway. But we've got 4 games coming up for you tomorrow. We shall be crossing over and going to the Chabagu Stadium, where Wakiso Giants plays Chetume. Then on Friday, a doubleheader: Police against Gaddafi, KCC against Bright Stars. Doesn't come any better, but there's a game happening now. It's a round of 64. Talk Ugandans through it.
Vipers won the trophy with 8 goals was beating Bull FC, and I'm told they were beating Isabide because according to them he had talked a lot. He could manage them. That is why they beat 8. But I believe on any day he can come and probably cause an upset. Kong's Vipers, they go to Chigezi Homeboys.
Yeah.
They're already in Kabale. I've seen some of them complaining about the weather, but it is not only them going to play. Even those in Kabale who are already acclimatized are going to play. Vipers have a strong squad. They are a team that can put up their second team and it can compete for the title as well. So they're a team that you'd normally give a win all the time they start a game, and until you see the tactical deployments of the coach, that is Robertinho for you, because I believe the players who've been sidelined because probably others were better than them or for other reasons could make the cut in this one. Yeah, Chigezi have a player who is their creative midfielder. I've forgotten the name, but he is very good. Everybody's talking about him. I'm told Vipers have gone there to sign him. Sports Club Vida chasing his signature. And I'm told even KCC sent a scout. So that is the player who is going to create today for Chigezi Homeboys.
You may not be able to create, because I told you of a story in the past when Stephen Bengo was still at Semberi Chitende, the school, and they're playing against a team that was out competing them and didn't seem easy for them to triumph over. Bengo could easily go and whisper into the ears of the most deadly player of the opposition, President akwetaga ku team y'amakoguja, and the player lost it then. So I don't expect much from that lad today. The teams are preparing to walk onto the stadium, and Afifi, let me tell you that.
Good one.
Yeah, Stephen Bengo used to tell the players that. I'm told.
So you think today Siraje said anyone deployed can go and tell the player?
No, the mere fact that a boy from Chigezi Homeboys is on the roster, on the eyes, on the under the spotlight of 3 big clubs in the country is enough to offset him, and especially if they're playing one of the clubs. That referee there who's walked on those lads is Komake Charles. Anything about him?
No, I think there is no controversy about him, and with such games at the Bombo Military Stadium where people know they are surrounded by
you don't do much. You don't do much outside of playing football.
So they will behave.
Okay, there are a couple of other games played in the round of 32, but I think we shall get to that when we get back at halftime. Pete Otai is on standby to usher us through these first 45 minutes of this game. UPDF at home against Impala Hill. UPDF, Uganda Premier League side, and of course Impala Hill from the big regional league
Kampala
of
region.
Kampala, Kampala region. Scorpion Group, they are second. Expect a good game. See you again after 45 minutes. Oh.
Well, good afternoon. Welcoming you to the Stanbic Uganda Cup match of the day. It is a battle that brings a third division side up against a Uganda Super League side. It is a battle that actually brings the Ames